Hello, this is my first installment on the 1/8 scale Bandai Jaguar XKE Buildup. And like I said, I don't think anybody's ever built one of these before. They're so rare. So I decided to take it on and had to kind of put a little Vaseline in the motor that had been sitting a while. I even ordered another motor just in case. But sometimes getting one with just the right shaft length and everything, sometimes you can get another motor, but sometimes there's just slight differences in them. So I was able to get this motor to run really smoothly. But I wanted to point out some problems that I had. It looks like in the instructions that it almost looks like it shows a pin here on the inside of the motor housing to go and hold this motor in place. But if you look, there aren't any retainers of any kind on this side. However, in the oil pan, there is. However, I noticed that there's a distance between the motor and the actual support. So I've actually made a spacer with another little piece glued in to kind of go over the back of the motor and hold it in the support right where it's needed. And you can see it sticking out here. Now the other thing I noticed is doing this part, which is adding the gear shafts into this plate right here, which becomes your drive shaft. Now, when I did it, I actually had to try to show you here, this little post here, I had to kind of file that post a little bit so it would fit in there. And also, for this big gear to mesh up with the pinion on the motor, I actually had to trim about, I'd say a little over a 1/16 of an inch. So almost more like, no, it's not quite 3/16. It's probably 2/16 of an inch that I ended up trimming off of these two posts. And then by doing that, it sits perfectly on this post and sits flush in there. Of course, I filed these after I trimmed them. And then when you put it onto the crankcase, the gears actually mesh up. So that's just one of the things I've ran into doing this. And of course, this will end up going on the back of this as part of the bell housing. So I wanted to show you this, and these two wires will end up coming out of the crankcase, coming out through the back. And there's like a locator pin right here that goes into this smaller hole right here. I've already filed and trimmed these a little bit. I'll probably trim a little bit more. And the wires come out of the bigger hole. So we'll go on from there and see how that works for us. But that's the progress I've made so far. Thank you very much for watching.